皆さんおはようございます。Hello everyone, I'm Travis and I'm a Japanese teacher. But why in the world would you learn Japanese from me when you could learn it from an adorable AI robot girl in the new hit game PRAGMATA? Trust me, I ask myself these questions every morning when I wake up. Students, I love you. But putting all of that aside, let's see what grammars we can learn from just a few lines of dialogue in the game. All of these can be found in the Genki I and II books and are around the N5, N4 level. 本当にディアナが可愛くてゲームプレイも楽しいんですけど、めっちゃくちゃ楽しんでおります。でもどのような日本語を学べるでしょうか？見てみましょう。So these are all the grammars we're going to be going over today in this video. Go ahead and give them a quick review before we go over them together. First, I'll show you the clips as they are, then we'll break it down together piece by piece. I'll also include a transcript of all the dialogues down below so you can do some sentence mining or add some things into Anki.
ありがとう、ヒュー。ぐるぐる回してみる。いっぱい線が引いてある。月からはそんなの見えないのに。ヒューが住んでたところはベネズエラ、マレーシア、デンマーク。楽しかった。地球儀を見てると地球って小さくていろんなところにすぐ行けちゃう気がするの。本当は月よりもっと大きいのも分かってるのに不思議だよね。
かわいいよね。では勉強しましょう。So for context here, Hugh has just given Diana a globe and now she's gonna go play with it.
ありがとう、ヒュー。ぐるぐる回してみる。
So for the first little section here, we have ありがとう、ヒュー。ぐるぐる回してみる。So ありがとう、ヒュー。Obviously. Thank you, Hugh. And we have ぐるぐる回してみる。So ぐるぐる is an onomatopoeia word. Words that represent sounds or how something is done or how something happens. So we have ぐるぐる, something spinning, and 回してみる. So our verb here is 回す, to spin something. Now this is a transitive verb, so someone is spinning something. And that 回す is being put in the te form, and 見る being attached there. That's our grammar. てみる means we're trying something out, giving it a shot, and seeing how it goes. So ぐるぐる回してみる. I'm gonna spin it and see how it goes.
いっぱい線が引いてある。月からはそんなの見えないのに。
Okay, so いっぱい線が引いてある. So いっぱい meaning a lot, literally meaning like a glass is full, a full glass, but it means a lot. So 線 is a line or lines. We have our particle ga, which tells us that our lines are going to do or be something. It's our subject particle, right? We have our verb hiku, which is to pull something. Now, when you're drawing something, normally you'll use the verb kaku to draw something, but when you're drawing straight lines a lot of the time, rather than using kaku, you'll use hiku because you're pulling it like straight across, right? So 線を引く. And then this hiku verb, we are once again putting it into the te form and then attaching aru to it to use our grammar te aru. We use te aru when something has been performed by someone and it's still in that state. So here with this いっぱい線が引いてある, these lines have been drawn by someone and they're still there. So there's been lots of lines are drawn on this is basically what the いっぱい線が引いてある is meaning there. Then we have 月からはそんなの見えないのに. So 月 is going to be the moon. 月からは. So から is going to be from the moon, and this wa kind of gives us our framework for the rest of the sentence. So when it comes to from the moon, そんなの見えないのに. So そんなの is that kind of thing, or these kinds of things, since we're talking about the sen, the lines here. Such lines. And then we have our verb 見えない. So this is 見える being put in the negative. Mieru is kind of the potential of miru, like being able to see, but it means more along the lines of visible or can be seen, right? So mieru would be visible, you can see it. Mienai, you can't see it, or it's not visible. So not visible. And then noni. So this is another Genki II grammar we have here. This noni means even though whatever comes before the noni. So 月からはそんなの見えないのに even though from the moon you can't see such things. So normally in Genki they teach you like A, noni, B, even though A, B. Here we kind of have B, A, noni. And so you can kind of flip the order around to be like, have a statement and then, oh, even though this, then this, right? And that's what's going on here. So we have, there's a whole bunch of lines, even though you can't see such things from space. Right?
ヒューが住んでたところは
Okay. So etto is another in Japanese. You can use etto, ano, sono, but this is probably the more common one. So Hugh が住んでたところは So Hugh is our main character here, or in this case we're referring to him in the third person, very common in Japanese, right? So you ga, you're going to do something here, and our verb of what they're going to do is sumu. So sumu is to live, like to dwell in a place, kind of a live, not like live to be alive, but to live in a place. And then we have that in the teiru form, which would be sundeiru. So sundeiru would be currently living. Then something that happens with the teiru form a lot is we'll drop the e when we're speaking. In written language, this doesn't normally happen, but in speech, it's very common to just drop the e. Even in formal situations, you'll see this. So we have sunderu is the same thing as sundeiru, but then we're putting that in the past tense. So sundeta. So sundeiru or sunderu would be currently living. Sundeta would be at a point in time were living or was living, right? And then all of that is describing tokoro, which is place. So the place that, when we describe a noun in Japanese, the descriptive words are going to come before the noun. So Hugh ga sundeta tokoro would be the place that you've lived or you used to live. In this case, Hugh, right? And then wa, we're kind of leaving it as an open-ended question, clear from context. So the place that you lived is, and in Japanese, the context here is, where is it? We're looking at a globe. You can obviously tell from context that's what she's talking about. Where's the place you used to live? Hugh ga sundeta tokoro wa?
Venezuela, Malaysia, Denmark.
No commento. Those are country names. If you don't know them, look them up. Yeah, nice and easy. Tanoshikatta. Is like, yay, wow, woohoo, right? Tanoshikatta. And we have tanoshi, which is fun. We put that in the past tense. Since it's an e adjective, we'll use katta. Tanoshikatta. That was fun.
地球儀を見てると地球って小さくていろんなところにすぐ行けちゃう気がするの。
Okay, this one's a little complex here, but we'll break it down. I believe all this grammar is still within the bounds of Genki II. So, 地球儀を見てると地球って小さくていろんなところにすぐ行けちゃう気がするの。So, 地球儀 is a globe. So we're talking about a globe here. 地球儀を we're going to do something to that globe, and our verb is 見る. So to look at a globe, 地球儀を見る. And then we have that in the teiru form, once again dropping that e. So 見てる. 地球儀を見てると. Now this to is what we use when we want to say if something happens or when something happens or upon something happening. So here it's more of like a when. So when I'm looking at a globe, 地球儀を見てると地球って小さくて So 地球 is going to be the earth, and then te This is a very common colloquial thing when you're speaking. It's kind of like bringing up a topic that you're going to talk about. And a lot of times it can be like a replacement for wa, but it's literally coming from like というのは, this thing called this. So 地球って talking about the earth. 小さくて, so 小さい is the e adjective meaning small. Then we are putting that into the te form for e adjectives, which we drop the e and add くて, 小さくて. So 地球って小さくて, the earth is small. And then that te form tells us more is coming. So it's like an and. The earth is small. And いろんなところにすぐ行けちゃう気がするの. So いろんなところ. So いろんな is a shortened form of いろいろな. So いろんな is just a very common way of speaking this word. So いろんなところ be various. That's what いろいろ means. いろんなところ various places. にすぐ行けちゃう気がする. So すぐ is right away, quickly, easily. And then we have 行けちゃう. So this is our verb 行く to go somewhere. We're taking 行く, we're putting it into the potential form 行ける. And then we're also taking that 行ける and using 行けてしまう. So completely do it or do it fully, right? And then that is also being shortened to ちゃう. So てしまう, you can shorten it to ちゃう. So 行けちゃう, we can completely go there, right? And then that is attached to 気がするの. So 気がする, if you have a statement or a phrase in front of 気がする, that means you have a feeling that. And then we end with a no. This is like des that they teach in Genki chapter 12, where we're describing a situation or using it as a reason for something else. So here we're just giving a description. She's saying, this is my feeling, right? So, and what is her feeling to put this all together? So when I look at a globe, 地球って小さくていろんなところにすぐ行けちゃう気がするの. I feel like the earth is so small and I can go to all sorts of places right away. So to paraphrase it, look at a globe, all the places are so close. Looks like the earth is small and you could just drive to all these places, right? They're so close. So that's how I feel.
本当は月よりもっと大きいのも分かってるのに不思議だよね.
Okay, in our last line of dialogue, we have 本当は月よりもっと大きいのも分かってるのに不思議だよね. So 本当は, but in actuality, so we left off with a のに. So even though this is the case, and then we have 本当は, but in reality, 月よりもっと大きいのも. So 月 is going to be our moon again, and then より is the yori that we use when we are comparing things. Something is more attribute than something else. And our attribute here is もっと大きい. もっと大きい. So larger. もっと meaning more. And 大きい large, right? And then の is turning all of this into a statement, like this entire thing. So, and the entire thing of the earth, that's the context we're in. Japanese loves using things from context. We don't need to say the moon is bigger than the earth. We're already on that context of talking about the earth. So the fact that the earth is bigger than the moon in reality or in actuality, のもわかってるのに. So this is our verb わかる, which is understand, I know, right? And that's also in the teiru form with that e dropped off, わかってる. And then we have noni again. So even though I know that in reality, the earth is bigger than the moon. And then we have our last line here, 不思議だよね. So 不思議, weird, mysterious, odd, strange. And だよね, da is like des, like a casual form of des. And then よね, It's like we're kind of confirming. Don't you also think that? So, even though I know that in reality the Earth is much bigger than the moon, it feels weird, doesn't it? Or that's odd, isn't it? So, how do you do? Please let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please like, and if you haven't yet subscribed for more Japanese learning and Japanese gaming content. 本当にありがとうございました。またね。